All right, hey guys. So I'm gonna give it, we're at the 28, I'm gonna give it about 2 minutes and then we're gonna get started, okay? So I'm just gonna make sure I can see this on my end. And then we'll get going. All right. Frozen a little bit. All right. Okay, so I think I see myself. I'm a little bit blurry. I am at work. I couldn't do this at home this morning. I was thinking about it. And because our Wi-Fi is a little bit better at home, but I had to be here to help. So we'll make it work. If I'm a little blurry, it's all good. And yeah, if I'm a little blurry, don't worry about it. It's mainly my voice that I want you to hear anyways. And we'll get started and go from there. So let me just make sure this is good, and I'm gonna dive in. Okay. Exit that, exit this. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started, guys. Like I said, if I'm a little bit blurry, it's okay. I wanted to do this at work because I wanted to be real honest and raw with you guys. I don't usually do these calls anymore because we have such great online training set up and we're so involved with each other in our Facebook groups now with Facebook Live and all that stuff. There just really wasn't like a huge demand for these calls, but I just kind of felt a tug at my heart that I wanted to get on here and not do a training call necessarily, but just kind of talk from, you know, my point of view, my perspective, and what I did to go from a brand new coach to where I am today. And, you know, if you can pull any information from that, that's kind of my goal of this call. So let's dive in here. I want to keep it kind of short and sweet. It's Sunday. I know we all kind of just want to chill and relax. I'm at work. But I think, so I made some notes here so I don't totally go off on a tangent. But again, I don't want this call to be like, I'm not going to be like, this is how you hit Success Club. This is how you deal with objections. This is how you do this, because I don't need to tell you that stuff. All that stuff can be found elsewhere in our online training, in the Coach Online Office training, which I'll flip my screen and show you in a bit. That stuff isn't, to me, what your mentorship coach is for. My job is to plug you into that stuff, but then it's your job to go and do that stuff. This call, I really wanted to just share you kind of my mindset that I went through from a brand new coach to here. Because a lot of people, I think, sign up and they expect to be at the level of a coach that's been in it 1, 2, 3 years, heck, even 1 month, right? And I think it's deceiving because we do work on social media for them to develop these mindsets in their brain that aren't true. It's like, oh my gosh, I just signed up, but I'm not posting the same as Melanie Mitro. oh, I must not be good at this. And it's like, oh, no, 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 no. That's like comparing your day 1 of insanity to somebody else's day 60. Do you think it's going to be the same? Not even close, you guys. That's like comparing your first day of working out to somebody that's been working out for 3 years. So why do we think when we sign up as a new coach day 1 that we're supposed to know everything, do everything, just like a coach that's been doing it for a year or 3 years? You need to give yourself time to learn. And that's where my journey kind of started. So about almost 3 years ago, so I'll backwards even more, I was introduced to Beachbody in probably about grade 8. My older sister ordered, see, I have coffee, I'm chilling, the whole shebang, you guys. But my sister ordered Turbo Jam. I don't know, my parents must have let her order it off TV or something, and that was when I was in about grade 8. And I stole her DVDs and decided to do them myself because I loved them. Of course, I couldn't do them when she was home because she'd be like, oh, where are my DVDs? So I do them when she wasn't home, and I just fell in love. I loved them, loved them, loved them. I got my friend Christy Trapanenko to do them with me, and we had a couple girlfriends. Like, it was just fun, and that was kind of my first introduction to fitness. And then when would it be? Yeah. So yeah, and I played sports, went to the gym, and then in university, I kind of did a mix of the gym and programs at home, kind of a little bit of both. But then when I moved home, I graduated from university with biology and chemistry degree. I moved home, and I was like, okay, if any of you teachers know, it's crazy. So I was like, I'm not gonna have time to go to the gym. I need an at-home fitness program to like keep me on top of things. So I was like, Beachbody for sure. So I went online, and at that time I was really into weights. So I decided to order Body Beast. And that was great, ordered it. And actually while I was ordering, I came across a coaching tab. Like literally, you guys, you know, online where it says become a coach or whatever, that's how I got introduced to coaching. I didn't know any coaches. I knew nothing about it. So I clicked on it and I told Steven about it, and he's like, Morgs, well, you've been kind of thinking about, you know, I've always had a passion for health and fitness. I thought about opening up a gym or personal training, but none of that really like tugged at my heart, because I was like, first, it's a huge money investment that I didn't have. And second, I'm still trading time for money, right? Like if I want to get paid, I still have to be there training somebody. And that would have been early mornings, late at nights. Like it still wasn't the lifestyle I wanted. And I always thought I was weird growing up, because a lot of my friends were like, yeah, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a teacher. I want to do whatever. And I never necessarily had a pull towards a specific job. And that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, maybe it's not that I don't have a pull towards a certain job, because I work hard and I like to work, but I more so had a pull towards a certain lifestyle. Like I would personally rather wake up at 5 a.m. and work my ass off for 4 hours and then go live for the rest of the day than wake up at 7, go to work from 9 to 5, take 3 coffee breaks, blah, blah, blah. Like that's just not me. So when this opportunity came about, and it was like, you know, I get paid for what I do, for helping people, for, you know, I control basically how much I make. And this could be a legit job. So once I got that wrapped around my head and I couldn't stop talking about it, Steven's like, Kate, you should sign up. And I said, no, because I'm the worst decision maker ever, you guys. I hate going out of my comfort zone. But he pretty much said, because I wouldn't stop talking about it, if you don't sign up, Morgs, I'm going to sign you up. So I went online and I signed up for $40 or $50, whatever it was, because I had already bought my Body Beast. And then once I signed up, I realized Shakeology was a thing. So then I ordered Shakeology. So literally I paid the maximum price to sign up. So now I always tell my new coaches, let's start with a challenge pack, because I paid the max for the program, the coach sign up fee, and then for the Shakeology. So that's literally how I signed up. And how I got set with my mentor. Well, because nobody introduced me to coaching. I knew nobody. So it had that little spot where it said your sponsor coach, and I just assumed it didn't really matter who your sponsor coach was. So I think I just did a quick Google search and randomly typed in a name. My sponsor's name came up, so I just typed it in, and because I didn't really think it mattered. So I signed up, and I messaged her, and I said, hey, I think I signed up to be a coach. She's like, okay, watch these webinars. And they were basically like a new coach training webinar. So I'm like, okay, watch them. I'm like, okay, what's next? She's like, okay, this is our new coach training. Let's start this. You're going to be apprentice coaching with me in a challenge group. Do you have a program? Yep. She's like, okay, you're going to find 3 to 5 people to join us in the challenge group. Okay. I had never done the challenge group before. I just followed the guidelines of the new coach training to find my people. And we did the challenge group. And honestly, the rest from there is pretty much history, you guys. That's how I started coaching. And a lot of people can't believe it. They're like, what? You were never in a challenge group? You didn't know any coaches, nothing? I'm like, no, it was totally random. I knew nothing about coaching. I just went for it. And I'm hoping you can see me. Yeah, there we go. So that was kind of how I got started. And my mindset was this, like, I never signed up and was like, if I'm not making $100 a month by month 1, I'm quitting. Or if I can't find challengers after a couple months, I'm quitting. Like, that mindset was never in my mind because I never had a definition of what failure was in this business. The only way to me I could fail was if I canceled my membership. And honestly, as soon as I signed up and I seen a community of Beachbody, I felt like I'd succeeded already. I was back on track with my fitness. I had never felt better with my hypoglycemia and hypothyroidism than I had with Shakeology. And I was meeting new people. I'm like, shit, like, I don't even, honestly, at that point, because I didn't know the income potential, and I'm like, I don't even care if I make money. I feel like my life is better already as a coach just by being more on track with my fitness, my nutrition, and meeting new people. That's it. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, worst case scenario, you get in the best shape of your life and you become surrounded by people that support you, which is actually really hard to find in this business. We're always trying to friggin' pull people down. It's just sickening. So when I realized that, I was just like, yeah, like, I'm in this. And I told myself, I had heard this on multiple calls, to kind of treat it like university or like college. And that's what I did right off the bat. I said, I went to university for 5 years and I paid tens of thousands of dollars for that. So I paid $50 to coach. So I have to give this at least 5 years. And then I thought, okay, and I heard multiple people say this, just like university, you have to, show up to the lessons, do the trainings in order to do well. So that's what I did. You guys, I have not missed a single national wake-up call from the day I signed up to be a coach. Not live. I like the podcast because I prefer the recording and I can fast forward through stuff if I want. But the national wake-up call is specifically tailored to new coaches, from veteran coaches sharing their top tips, sharing their story, how they got from ground zero from day one to where they are today. So if you're not listening to national wake-up calls every week, you need to download the podcast app and start from the beginning. Even listen to recordings in the shower while you get ready in the car. Not a day goes by that I don't listen to recordings. And a lot of people think, well, how do you have time? And I'm like, I feel better. Like, if I go a day or a couple days without listening to podcasts or a training or something, I feel my mojo drop. And I think a lot of people, when they feel like they're in a slump, they think it's just like their business is in a slump. And don't get me wrong, usually like 1 week out of the month, I usually have like Beachbody ebbs and flows. People, it takes them a while to understand that. You're not always going to be on top of the mountain. At least 1 week out of the month, I feel like I'm in a slough. My business is crashing and burning, but I'll get out of it. And that's normal. This Beachbody ebbs and flows just like our store ebbs and flows. And honestly, the times where I feel like I'm in the slough, in the trench, are the times where I'm not doing personal development. I haven't learned anything new in a couple days. I haven't sparked my creative mind with a new podcast or a new training call that I've found. That's when I'm in a slump, because I'm not naturally a creative person, you guys. I don't come up with stuff on my own. My posts you see, my training groups, my videos, I don't come up with that stuff on my own. I'm a smart person. I'm very organized. I can memorize stuff, but creatively, that's not my strongest point. So I need to constantly fuel that in myself by watching YouTube videos, national wake up calls, inspirational videos. That's where my content comes from. That's what fires me up. And I'm going to share, I've shared it with a couple people already, these Craig, these calls. I'm going to share it in our group here pretty soon. I'm on call number 2, and I just get so fired up listening to them. They're absolutely incredible. I'm going to post them. If I forget, please remind me. But so many people say, what do I post about? That's where my content comes from, you guys, okay? That's exactly where it comes from. One of the main things I think that has allowed me to be successful is also being resourceful, okay? So having that mindset and then being resourceful. What do I mean by being resourceful? You guys, I mean, I'm all for, like I say, you know, I'm here to help you, one-on-one calls, whatever it may be. But I don't talk to my sponsor coach. I've maybe sent her 2 to 3 questions when I was pretty new. And honestly, we talk as friends once in a while now, but that's it, you guys. Like, that's it. We're more so friends than anything. Like, there's not much business discussion that ever goes on. I don't reach out for her for help that much or anything. When I had questions, we had a new coach group where I asked questions. And I mean, that's what I did. And I was resourceful. I searched for my own answers. I Googled everything, you guys. How to start YouTube live videos. I Googled tutorial on how to start YouTube live. Somebody asked me the other day, Morgan, how do you download that video off Facebook? Because you know how sometimes videos you want to save off Facebook. I'm like, I Googled it. I Googled how to download a Facebook video off Facebook. And I just followed the instructions. Or I started a blog and somebody asked me how do I start a blog. I'm like, I don't know. I just Googled how to start a free blog account. How to embed a form on a blog post. How to start a YouTube channel. I was resourceful, and I think the best coaches in this business are, because your sponsor coach is here to help you get signed up, and they're here to help plug you into, I just forgot to put my earrings in today. They're here to help get you plugged in to the resources you need. But essentially, that's it. That's why any coach can be successful without an active sponsor coach. You don't necessarily need them. That's great. They'll plug you in to the resources a lot faster. But after that, it's up to you. Their job isn't to find every fact, figure, script for you. That's your job. So what I would do, usually once a month, I determine what is something I want to work on. So for example, a lot of people have been coming up with, or lately, I'm struggling to find challengers to reach Success Club. I would go on YouTube and I would type in Beachbody Coach Success Club, or top tips to hit Success Club, or Beachbody expanding your network, Beachbody finding challengers, posting tips, social media tips. You guys, the amount that coaches share is unbelievable. Like, YouTube is your best friend. It's just incredible. So many coaches, all their training calls are made public. That's where I've come across everything, objections. If you want to get some brainstorm ideas on how to deal with objection, but Team Beachbody, how to deal with objections. And I just keep searching until I found something I connected with. Social media tips, how to spruce up your Facebook, anything like that. I think it's the best coaches in this business are resourceful, because what I tell you is fine, but you're going to run your business different than I run my business, because you're not Morgan Rieger. I'm going to give you like the facts and figures. That's the same for everybody. But from there, it's up to you to find your jive. And that's going to take time. That took me almost 3 years to find my jive. And I'm still figuring out. I'm changing a lot of things right now. And that's one of the key things. You have to be okay with failing. You have to be okay with failing forward. And Failing Forward is a book by John C. Maxwell that I really liked. And If you're like me, you're probably a perfectionist and you probably want to do everything perfect right off the bat. You want to know everything before you even get started. And I promise you that will be your worst trait. You need to be okay with putting out a post that's not perfect, a blog post that's not perfect, starting to invite when you're not quite ready. You'll build your wings as you fall, and you need to be okay with that. All you need to know as a new coach is how to get into your team page, how to start the new coach training, and when your next apprentice challenge group is. You don't need to know about anything else. So don't even try. The rest will come. Once I hit 2-star, then I was like, okay, how do I open up a second business center? I didn't look into it till I was ready. Once I hit diamond, I was like, okay, how do I hit elite? Like, elite's been coming up. How do I do that? But I wasn't a new coach and was like, how do I get to 15-star diamond? I mean, it was a thought in my brain that long term, that's what I wanted. But first I was like, okay, I need to get to emerald, and then I'll figure out ruby, then I'll figure out diamond. And ooh, this leadership ladder, they're telling me it's really important. I need to dive into that. So that's kind of being resourceful. I'm going to flip my screen. I just want to talk for a couple more minutes. I want to quickly show you bring this up maybe. There we go. So this is our training website. Again, I invited our whole team to this call. So this is what I give my personally sponsored coaches, but you're more than welcome to use it if you're on our team too. I usually revamp it once a month or just go through it and like fix things, but I haven't done it for May yet. So keep in mind, this might change a little bit. Like, I don't have the 4th vital behavior in here yet, and I really want to simplify it a bit more. But I put it out there and I'm constantly revamping it. So I've got a new coach training, and I basically walk you through. So this is what the most important thing for me for new coaches. I welcome them into our team pages, and I help them get started on the new coach training. I also have a Morgan's New Coaches group where they ask a lot of questions because this is online. If you're doing a training in a challenge group, that's great too. But their main goal is to apprentice challenge group with me. So I guide them right to there to start off the bat. They're going to find their own challengers. I walk them through exactly how to send links, all that jazz. But you guys, if you don't have this, like, go to your online office, go to news and training, and go to training. It might not be the prettiest or most exciting, but look at this. Beachbody has it laid out for you. Getting started, coach, emerald, ruby, diamond. It literally is like a new coach training that anybody can do right off the bat. So a lot of people get nervous to sign up their own coaches because they don't know how to train them. It's like, oh my gosh, if you signed up the day before, you can definitely sign up your own coach because you know how to sign up. You can walk them through it, and literally you can show them the login and just start here and be like, hey, and this is our next challenge group date. Boom. That's it. That's as simple as that.